Hello and welcome to In Depth. I'm Teena Jha. Diwali is one of the most significant and auspicious Hindu festivals in the country. Aptly named the Festival of Lights, Diwali witnesses a dazzling display of lights and fireworks. Celebrated by millions of people in India and all over the world, the colourful customs and meanings associated with Diwali vary regionally. People worship different deities on the day and follow different traditions. However, despite all the differences, a common symbolism remains. It is an important occasion that marks the victory of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, and good over evil. Today in Depth, we explore the different legends associated with Diwali, the different ways in which it is celebrated in the country, and its significance worldwide. Deepavali or Diwali is the festival of lights celebrated across India and the world. The festival symbolizes victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. The word Deepavali means row or series of lights. In the Hindu mythology, as depicted in the epic Ramayana, Diwali is the day when Lord Ram, Sita, Lakshman and Hanuman arrived in Ayodhya after an exile of 14 years and defeating demon king Ravan. In this report, we show you the significance of this festival and how it is celebrated across the country.
Diwali is one of the most important festivals for many Hindus around the world. The festival and its celebrations usually last for 5 days, among which the third day is the main one. During all the 5 days of celebrations, houses, temples and public places are lit up with lights and earthen lamps. The theme of victory of good over evil and victory of light over dark are associated with this festival. The festival falls in the Hindu month of Kartik. According to the Georgian calendar, the festival falls during the month of either October or November.
One is that Ramchandra ji is the incarnation of God, and he has defeated the evil. And after defeating the evil, when he's coming back, he's being welcomed home. And secondly, he had been away from home for 14 years. So that's another joy, that our prince or our king who should have been there is coming back to us after 14 years. So that's another joy related to that. So it's basically a festival of celebrating the happiness, the joy, the feelings of having someone back among them who had been away for 14 years and who defeated the evil forces and now is back home. Well, generally we have two Diwalis, Choti Diwali and Badi Diwali, small Diwali, big Diwali, the way they are called. One is before coming to, prior to Ayodhya, and then he's coming in Ayodhya, that is welcomed in Ayodhya, that is Badi Diwali and all.
Also referred to as the Festival of Lights or Deepavali, Diwali celebrations have evolved in countless ways over the years. It is considered auspicious to buy new goods during the days preceding Diwali. Many Hindus usually clean and renovate their houses during this time. The third day of the 5-day festival marks its climax and is a public holiday in India. Diwali is a word that has been derived from Sanskrit word Deepavali, which means a row or a string of lights. The word is a conjugation of Deepa or an earthen lamp and Vali or a continuous row or series of something. The festival falls during the beginning of autumn and at the end of summer harvest. Diwali coincides with the darkest day of the year, also known as Amavasya. This day is the darkest of the Hindu lunisolar calendar. Although the festival has been known as a predominantly Hindu festival, it is also celebrated by Jains, Sikhs and Newar Buddhists. However, the day marks different historical events and stories for all these religions. The significance of Diwali varies regionally within India as well, with people worshipping different deities on the day and following different traditions. One of the most well-known traditions of Diwali is associated with the Hindu epic of Ramayana. This tradition celebrates the victory of King of Ayodhya, Ram, over the demon king Ravana of the kingdom of Lanka. Diwali is the day when Ram, Sita and Lakshman returned to Ayodhya after a period of 14 years of exile. Legend has it that the kingdom was lit up with lamps as people rejoiced and celebrated the return of the righteous heir to the throne.
And actually there are, I don't think people know, but there are 5 Diwalis. Dhanteras, then there is Nakasur, that's the day, 2 days before, the day after Dhanteras. Then that's the day that Krishna killed the demon Nakasur. Then there is of course Diwali itself. Then after that is Govardhan Puja. Govardhan Puja, that's also part of the 5 days Diwali. Govardhan Puja is the day Krishna lifted the mountain Govardhan, but because it's Govardhan Puja, all the mithai and fruit is all kept in a pile because Govardhan is a mountain. And then of course there's Bhai Dooj.
The 5-day of celebrations include Dhanteras, the day that most people go out to buy new things like utensils, gold coins and jewelry. Houses and offices are cleaned and decorated with earthen lamps and artificial lights. Choti Diwali is also known as Narak Chaturdashi. This is a major day for purchasing sweets for guests, friends and families. Families also prepare homemade delicacies on this day for the guests who visit on the main day of the festival, that is Diwali. Then Diwali, this is the main day during the 5-day festival and is also known as the day of Lakshmi Pujan. This is because goddess Lakshmi, who is the goddess of wealth and prosperity, is worshipped on this day. During this time, the family gets together and recites prayers and sings holy songs in unison. After the conclusion of the prayers, everyone takes blessings from the holy flame. This is also a time to meet and greet friends, family and relatives and exchange gifts and sweets. Govardhan Puja. This is the day right after Diwali. Then Bhai Dooj is the last day of the 5-day festival. This day celebrates the bond between brothers and sisters. Diwali is a festival of indulgence and it's hard to resist the wide variety of sweets and delicacies that flood the markets around this time. It's customary to keep a plate full of dry fruits, nuts and some sweets ready for when guests come home and offer the same to them. Along with bursting of crackers and exchanging sweets, eating mithais made in pure desi ghee and mawa is an indelible part of Diwali. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Like a confluence of many rivers into one mighty expansive ocean, the many celebrations of Diwali are a reiteration of the unity of belief in the power of divinity to shape our lives. There is a shared spiritual understanding, even while it is accentuated by each region's local traditions. In this report, let's explore the various nuances of how Diwali is observed in different parts of India. Diwali or Deepavali is the festival of lights that indicates the triumph of light over darkness, good over evil. It falls on the day of Amavasya or new moon in the Hindu month of Kartik. The festival begins at the end of the cropping season and that's why it is associated with wealth and happiness. There are various traditions and beliefs associated with Diwali.
Diwali is getting light into our lives, getting knowledge from darkness, getting light from darkness. All these things are more important than just the physical aspect of burning diyas. See, Ram was to be king of Ayodhya, but he was banished for 14 years. So before he could be king, Bharat of course came to and requested him to come back, but he said he has to fulfill his father's thing. So he placed the sandals of Bharat on the throne. And when he came back, then he rewore the sandals, symbolizing that he's again king.
The most popular story about Diwali relates to Lord Ram and Sita's return to Ayodhya after their 14-year exile, during which Lord Ram killed demon king Ravan of Lanka. Upon his return, people in Ayodhya lit earthen lamps or diyas to welcome their king. Another story talks about the return of Pandavas after 12 years of Vanvas and 1 year of Agyatvas. Diwali is also associated with the story of Yam and Nachiketa on Kartik Amavasya, one that narrates the tale of true wealth and knowledge and right versus wrong. This is also one of the reasons why Diwali is celebrated as the festival of prosperity, wisdom and light. According to historians, the earliest mention of Diwali is found in Vatsyayana's Kama Sutra, which is considered to have been composed sometime between the 3rd century BC and the 2nd century AD. Vatsyayan mentioned about Yaksharatri, the night of the Yakshas, which was celebrated by lighting lamps in rows on houses, walls and other places. Bonfires were lit amid joyful fervour and gaiety. Gambling was an important aspect of the festival. As per mythology, Yakshas are related to goddess of wealth, Lakshmi through Kuber, who was the lord of wealth in the Shastras. Vatsyayan's description of Diwali was most dominant during the ancient times. Kashmir has a different story linking Lakshmi with Diwali. The Nilamata Puran, composed in the Kashmir of ancient days between 500 AD and 800 AD, for the first time mentions goddess Lakshmi at the center of Diwali celebrations. The very name of Diwali could be traced to this Puran. The Kashmiri text mentions about a festival by the name of Deepmala, also known as Sukha Suptika. It was celebrated on the same night of the lunar calendar as Diwali is celebrated now. Harsha's famous play Naganand, composed in 7th century AD, talks about Deepotsav, which literally means the festival of earthen lamps. The play mentions about the practice of giving gifts to newly married couples. Interestingly, a similar tradition is followed in Tamil Nadu, where Thalai Diwali is celebrated. Deepavali is also referred to as Deepamalika in the famous Sanskrit poet Rajashekhara's 9th century work Kavya Mimamsa, where traditions of homes being cleaned and decorated with lights are mentioned. That's why before Diwali, it is a ritual to clean rooms and offices and adorn houses with lights. Another legend relates the festival to Lord Krishna, whose consort Satyabhama killed Narkasur on Narak Chaturdashi, which falls a day before Diwali. In the western part of the country, this legend is credited for the origin of Diwali, although in some versions of the legend, Krishna is credited with slaying the demon Narkasur. For many communities, Diwali marks the beginning of a new year in the Vikram Samvat calendar, which is used for calculating the date and time of various social rituals and festivals. It is believed that King Vikramaditya ascended the throne on Diwali. He launched a new calendar to celebrate his coronation, which became popular in various parts of the country. It is still in use for religious purposes. In Bengali tradition, Kali Puja is celebrated on the night of Diwali. Kali is considered one of the only 2 pre-Aryan deities, the other being Lord Shiva. According to a legend, Lord Shiva lay down on the path of goddess Kali, who went on a rampage slaughtering demons. After she stepped unknowingly on Shiva's bare body, she calmed down. The festival is celebrated to control ego and other negative tendencies that hinder spiritual progress. Diwali also holds immense significance for Jains and Sikhs. As per Jain tradition, Lord Mahavir attained Nirvana on Diwali. Devotees celebrate the occasion by lighting lamps. In 600 AD, Guru Har Gobind, the 6th Guru of the Sikhs, was set free from imprisonment after 15 years on Diwali. The Sikh devotees celebrate the occasion by lighting earthen lamps in their homes. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Diwali falls 20 days after Dashera, the day when Ram killed Ravan. Diwali is celebrated to mark the arrival of Ram back to Ayodhya after his victory. Until recent times, bursting of crackers not only meant celebration, it also meant prevention from dreaded vector-borne diseases, as the smoke emitted from crackers killed mosquitoes in a single night. But with time, excessive use and increased presence of chemicals in firecrackers began to adversely affect humans as well as the environment, so much so that complete elimination of firecrackers has now become the need of the hour. This year, the Supreme Court restricted use of crackers in Delhi for only 2 hours on Diwali and also recommended use of green crackers.
2 days ahead of Diwali, Delhi woke up to its most polluted air of the season on Monday. Thick smog engulfed the region, leading to poor visibility as the pollution levels reached 20 times over the recommended level set by the World Health Organization. Levels of PM 2.5, tiny particulate matter that can reach deep into the lungs and cause major health problems, were above 400 in most parts of the capital, and in some places soared above 600. According to WHO, New Delhi is the 6th worst place in the world as far as levels of pollution is concerned. Poor air quality in November and December is not a new phenomena for the national capital region. Every year around this time, farmers in neighbouring Punjab and Haryana burn crop stubble to clear their fields, leading to massive levels of pollution in NCR. The quality of air further deteriorates during Diwali due to bursting of firecrackers. The poisonous chemical mix discharged from firecrackers affects people suffering from asthma and other respiratory disorders. Firecrackers have significant amounts of harmful heavy metals such as lead, and their fumes contain oxides of sulfur, phosphorus, nitrogen and carbon. The oxides from the chemicals discharged from burning firecrackers come into contact with moisture while passing from the nostrils to the lungs and form acids which damage the body. Noise from firecrackers take a toll on animals and birds. The deafening crackers cause temporary deafness in animals and disorient birds, making them fly out of their shelters to alien corners in search of safety. The bright glare of burning firecrackers can also burn or permanently blind flying birds.
If we go by our old traditional aspect of Diwali, so it was minor, lights, diya, agarbatti, all these things. And I can't say at what time the crackers were introduced in Diwali historically. Though you do find some references about lightning and all, which is good, but crackers and all, if these affect the pollution and pollute the society and all, I'm all for it. That because in every stage we do, certain reforms. We have to move ahead and all. Because if we don't protect our environment, it will adversely affect us.
Last month, the Supreme Court allowed the use of green firecrackers for Diwali to try to curb pollution. SC set a time to burst crackers, a period of 2 hours from 8 to 10 pm on Diwali. The Supreme Court also restrained e-commerce websites from selling firecrackers. Green crackers are not completely eco-friendly but are said to be 30% less polluting than conventional firecrackers. They have a chemical formulation that produces water molecules, which reduces emission levels and absorbs dust. The technology of fireworks with low emission levels is being developed by the National Environment Engineering Research Institute, but manufacturing of these green crackers has not yet started and won't be available this Diwali.
ये सुनिश्चित करेंगे कि आने वाले वर्षों में ये ग्रीन क्रैकर्स हमारे उन कन्वेंशनल क्रैकर्स को, जो कि हमारे एयर की क्वालिटी को दूषित करते हैं, रिप्लेस कर सकें। इन पटाखों में उतनी ही रोशनी, उतनी ही ब्राइटनेस और उसी प्रकार का आनंद जैसा वर्षों से कन्वेंशनल पटाखों में लोगों को मिलता था, वो उपलब्ध होगा।
So how can you celebrate an environment-friendly green Diwali? Light traditional clay or earthenware diyas as they leave little or no carbon footprint behind. Make candles at home and encase them in mud or orange and lemon peels. Decorate your house using fresh flowers. Gift your loved ones eco-friendly products, for example, a plant. Avoid use of disposable, non-biodegradable dinnerware. Donate to a charity or volunteer for an NGO, and completely avoid or limit the use of firecrackers that emit huge amounts of smoke and sound. Last year, the Environment Ministry initiated a Harit Diwali campaign, where school children took a pledge to minimize bursting of crackers. This year, the government has merged the Harit Diwali Swasth Diwali with Green Good Deed movement that has been initiated as a pan-India social mobilization for conservation and protection of the environment. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for a short break on the program. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching In Depth. The Festival of Lights is one of the most important and major festivals of Hindus and is celebrated throughout India and other parts of the world with much joy, euphoria and fervour. A time for both gratitude and gaiety. Here's how Diwali is celebrated around the world.
Diwali, which is a pan-India festival, is celebrated in almost all parts of India with equal zeal and vigour. Almost every Hindu participates in the celebration and helps to make this festival grand. The grandeur of this festival is such that it is no more confined to India only. From cleaning homes to buying new clothes, from taking a walk in the colourfully lit and lively streets to bursting crackers, Diwali is celebrated differently in different cultures across India and even abroad. People from different communities and regions observe Diwali in their own unique way. Diwali is known as Tihar or Swanti in Nepal. It is celebrated similarly like India with 5 days of festivities. However, the traditions vary from those followed in India. People in China celebrate this festival by decorating gardens and orchards, hanging colourful lanterns and paper-made structures on the branches of trees. In Sri Lanka, the festival is a public holiday. People take oil bath in the morning, wear new clothes and perform puja in the evenings. The festivities follow the Tamil culture of celebrating the festival, and people light diyas and pray to goddess Lakshmi. Diwali is an official public holiday in Mauritius too. People pray to Lord Rama, Goddess Lakshmi and Lord Ganesha for prosperity, good life and health. Known as Deepavali, the day is a public holiday in Singapore. It is celebrated amongst the minority Indian community. Bazaars, exhibitions and fairs are organized on the occasion of Diwali. Diwali in Malaysia is celebrated with pomp and show. On this day, open houses are held where Hindu Malaysians welcome fellow Malaysians of different races and religions to their house for a meal. The Indonesian island of Bali is famous for celebrating the festival of Diwali, as a majority of the population here is that of Indians. The celebration and rituals of the festival is mostly similar to that celebrated by their counterparts in India. Australia celebrates Diwali publicly among the people of Indian origin and the local Australians in Brisbane and Melbourne. Federation Square hosts Diwali fairs with live music and traditional dances of India, art and crafts, as well as offering a variety of Indian cuisines. Spectacular fireworks are displayed on the Yarra River. Diwali is among one of the major festivals celebrated in Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau also joins people in the festivities. Canada's iconic Niagara Falls played host to the Festival of Lights for the first time this year, complete with fireworks. In United Kingdom since 2009, Diwali has been celebrated every year at 10 Downing Street, the residence of the British Prime Minister. The yearly celebration was started by Gordon Brown and continued by David Cameron. In the United States, Diwali was first celebrated in the White House in 2003 and was given official status in 2007 by former President George Bush. Barack Obama was the first president to personally attend Diwali celebrations at the White House in 2009. On October 5, 2016, the United States Postal Service issued a Diwali postage stamp. Diwali is a festival that not only brings positive emotions and thoughts in people's lives, but it is also a festival that aims to bring people closer and knit the global community in a tighter circle. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And that's it from us in today's edition of In Depth. You can also watch our episodes online on YouTube and Twitter and get back to us with your feedback and suggestions. Thanks for your time and have a safe and happy Diwali.